In this lesson, you'll learn how to play a beautiful melody using just one finger-picking pattern. We'll apply this pattern to a beautiful chord progression. So let's begin with a demo so you can hear the entire melody, and then we'll move into our tutorial. If you'd like to play along with this demo at a slower tempo, then you can change the playback speed of the video down in your video settings. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll be using my tenor with low G tuning throughout this lesson, but feel free to follow along with high G tuning as well. We'll begin by taking a look at our pattern and some practice tips, and then our chord shapes and how to apply the pattern to our chord progression. Our pattern covers 8 beats, and we're going to use our thumb, index finger, middle finger, and ring finger on strings 4 down to 1. Here's how the pattern sounds on a C chord at a slow tempo. The rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and at a faster tempo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To pick this pattern, we'll start on the second string, followed by strings 4, 3, and 1, then 4, 3, and 2, then 4, 3, and 1, 4, 3, and 2, then the fourth string, and we end on the first string. When we use this pattern with this chord progression, the melody is carried out on the first and second strings. So ideally we want to play the notes on strings 1 and 2 at a louder volume than the notes on strings 3 and 4. So you can practice this in an exaggerated way to get the feel for playing strings 1 and 2 at a louder volume. Now before you apply this pattern to the chord progression, it's great practice to play this pattern on repeat on a C chord at a slow tempo to give your picking hand a bit of time to learn the sequence. So next I'm going to play through the pattern 8 times on a C chord at a slow tempo of only 70 beats per minute, so you can practice the pattern along with me. 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're enjoying this lesson, please show my channel some love by giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, then welcome. I'm Lara. I'm a musician and a composer, and I love to teach song tutorials, technique lessons, and fingerstyle arrangements for all levels. If you'd like to support my teaching and my channel by joining my Patreon community, you'll gain access to hundreds of downloads, including song sheets, fingerstyle tabs, technique lessons, and song books. The link is down below in the video description. Now let's take a look at the chord shapes and transitions that form this chord progression so you can put it all together. We begin on an F chord, and to form this chord shape, we're going to use our standard F chord with our index finger on the first fret of the second string and our middle finger on the second fret of the fourth string. Plus, we're going to use our pinky on the third fret of the first string. Then from here, we go to D minor 7. So we'll keep this chord shape and we'll add our ring finger to the second fret of the third string. To go to a C sus4 chord. We'll lift up our middle finger and ring finger, keeping our index finger and pinky in place. And then to end line 1, we'll go to a C chord, keeping our pinky in place and lifting up our index finger. So here's how line 1 sounds at a slow tempo. Line 2 is played the same way as line 1, so let's move to line 3. Here we begin with a D minor chord. So we have our index finger on the first fret of the second string and our ring finger and middle finger on the second fret of strings 3 and 4. Then we go to A minor, so we'll keep our middle finger in place on the fourth string and free up the other strings. Now we have a G sus2 chord, so we're going to move our middle finger to the second fret of the third string and place down our ring finger on the third fret of the second string. And then we end line 3 on a C chord. So here's line 3 at a slow tempo. Line 4 begins the same way as line 3. First on D minor, then A minor, and now we have a new chord. We go to G minor 7. And to form this chord, we're going to use our index finger across the first fret of strings 1 and 2, and our middle finger on the second fret of the third string. And then we'll end line 4 on a C7 chord. Here we're going to place our pinky on the third fret of the first string and our middle finger on the third fret of the fourth string. So here's the chord progression in line 4 at a slow tempo. In line 5, we'll return to the same chord progression that we used in line 1. So to go from our C7 chord at the end of line 4 to our F chord in line 5, we'll keep our pinky in place, move our middle finger back 1 fret to the second fret of the fourth string, and then we'll add our index finger to the first fret of the second string. Lines 5 and 6 are played the same way as lines 1 and 2, and at the end of line 6 we have an extra F chord to end the melody. Now here we're going to play our standard F chord with the first string open, and I like to play a nice slow arpeggio down strum. I hope you've enjoyed learning this beautiful melody and that it becomes a regular part of your finger picking practices. Have fun with this one, and thanks for watching.